Hello, everyone, and welcome to You're In Detention. And this week, Kerry and I have put our marketing agency, Anonymous, in detention. We have got Clair and Reece, the red-nosed reindeer. And actually, Claire, you're going straight in detention because you haven't renamed yourself on the screen. So, Claire, what was your Christmas name?
Clary Crimbo.
Clary Crimbo. Right. Okay. So we've got Kerry Christmas, Joe Ho Ho, Reece the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Clary Crimbo on the screen with you today. Honestly.
Do you know now that you said your name like that, Joe?
There's other meanings.
Other meanings. The way you said it
As you noticed, we are having a Christmas version of You're In Detention because we have spent probably, I feel like, most of this year with Anonymous and with Clair and Reece and others, obviously getting Messy Minds off the ground. And we thought, how better to celebrate Christmas than having a bit of a look back of where we've been throughout the year. And I do have to say that Clair and Reece, you just feel like part of our team. Like, I don't know where Messy Minds ends and Anonymous begins anymore.
We feel the same. We're just one big family now.
We're just one. And we're trying not to.
Has been so interesting, hasn't it? As we've got to know each other over the year. We've definitely bonded, Joe. I think a little bit more because we're the same person.
Yes, we're the same person. You're my sister from another mister.
Absolutely.
I
Which
think
is not a good thing for Reece and Kerry.
We just keep you in check.
I think that you two keep everything going. Honestly, we just come on to calls. I mean, we are banned from most calls now, aren't we, Claire?
Yes.
Because I think actually Kerry and Reece are the people that actually generate output here, and we are allowed on calls sometimes. That's how it is now. Except a website call. We're not allowed on website calls at all.
No, never.
No.
How's that going, Kerry? You're the only one that is allowed on that call.
Kerry and Connor.
Yeah, we're all good. We've got it. We know what we're doing.
Good.
This is actually as well. Is this the first time, Reece, you've been on camera? We've actually broken Reece, haven't we? I reckon. This year.
So I'm usually sitting in the back doing the editing and watching over the sound and things, and I've been dragged in by Joe and Kerry to show my face. So yeah, it's different for me, but again, you guys are fun, so it's good for me.
You're multitasking now, Reece, because you are responsible for this podcast and also being on it.
I am. I've got my eyes on the sound levels on the sides. Apart from that, yeah.
I haven't been told off yet for turning down the sound on a laptop. So normally there's Reece on the studio hoping that we read the studio chat, go, turn the sound down, but meltdown in the background. We've had some great podcasts though this year, haven't we? And I think honestly, the amount, I'm really proud of having them every week. We've run them since we launched, and it's such a lot of work actually, like the podcasts and what you guys do as well in producing them and getting guests on or just talking. I just feel like it's been a real baptism of fire for us this year in terms of social media and putting ourselves out there. It's quite nerve-wracking to start with.
It is. But it can become very addictive, can't it? And it can escalate very quickly.
I'm on every day, me and Kerry, and we're who's followers on TikTok.
So we started off with little TikToks, didn't we? Then we introduced the podcast. Then from there, we've introduced characters like Mo and now Lola. They've got their own pages. It's escalated. But it's amazing, isn't it? And it's all with one goal in mind, and all these different arms that we have brings it all together. And I think that just speaks volumes about your company, what you do, and obviously your personality is just shining through. And I think that's great for us to watch, isn't it, Reece? Because to work with clients who actually enjoy what they're doing and take on board our advice is brilliant, you know, because we've worked with clients that don't do that. They just expect us to give them the brief, and you can't do it for the client. It has to be your tone of voice. It has to be your, you know, faces on camera. As much as we can sit there with you and support you, you have to get involved in it. And you two have absolutely grabbed it and you know, just run away with it. And it's so exciting for us as well.
Oh, do you remember when we said to Claire, "Oh, we've got a launch date. It's like Friday. This have been like the 10th of October." She went, "No, no, no, we're not launching on a Friday." No, we're like, "Okay, Monday then." She, "Yep, Monday."
Yeah,
Okay, like
Monday's fine. Monday 13th.
yeah, Monday,
Monday the
that's the
13th,
kind
I
of
know.
advice you need. Joe, no one's watching social media on a Friday night. Okay, okay,
They're
fine.
all in the pub
They're
or,
all in the
you
pub.
know, busy. Yes.
It has been fun. It has been
Yeah.
fun. What's your highlight, Kerry? What's your highlight of this year?
It got
Don't say the
like
advent calendar. Don't.
the advent calendar, and I'm pleased that we're doing that every year. Highlights. There's been loads and loads and loads of them. I loved when we all met face to face in London.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah.
it was really, really good fun. But I mean, Joe, we talked this morning about some of the recording that we've done. And remembering when we went to Hyde Park,
Yeah,
took
and they
out
nearly fell off
the
the
little
boat.
boat and did recording that you can't hear because the wind. Um, but that was brilliant. And then even things like working out how to open a proper TikTok account and things like that.
Yeah.
Stuff I never knew I needed to know, but I do know now.
And that's
That was
it, isn't
easy,
it?
wasn't it, as well, Kerry?
And your videography skills have just improved massively.
You were the first ones when we were walking out with the dogs and that, and the videos were like that, or like walking down the path. Claire goes, "Can you get yourself a gimbal?" What's that? What's that? It's like Blair Witch, like, so you don't look like that.
That's so funny. That is funny. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, that was funny, watching it develop and how much more experienced you are now and how better quality the videos are, and, you know, you're capturing things that you wouldn't have thought to capture previously. Um,
Mm.
and, you know, yesterday we spoke on the phone, didn't we, Carrie? And I came up with a little suggestion for Christmas Day, and I don't know if you two have had a chance to speak about this yet. Are you up for
We
it?
have. Well, I'll set up my gimbal and see what happens.
Because Reese was there going, "No, Claire, it's Christmas Day. They need a day off."
I know,
Yeah.
What
they're
an
never off.
opportunity.
Give them a day off at least.
You're
Never
gonna have
know.
you're gonna have to like use some bleeps across obviously any kind of language that might be
Oh,
used
of
in the
course.
kitchen.
Mhm.
Can't be
And
held
I
responsible for that.
I
Yeah.
think that would be brilliant. I think you should, like, FaceTime as well at the same time,
Yeah.
checking in on each other. How's it going?
What's going on? I'm like,
What's going on? What's
we're all right.
burning?
I'll
Yeah.
be like shouting Susan in the kitchen there, like anyone comes in.
You'd be
Out,
like
everyone out.
Gordon Ramsay.
I
Just
Bleep,
will.
bleep, 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 bleep.
I'm like, look.
Sorry, can you show Joe? There was no
Wow,
sound.
she's got all of that out. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay is like, yeah, I can relate to that in the kitchen.
Oh,
That's
have
why
you
I'm a lone kitchener.
He's so funny. Have you seen it when he obviously speaks to the adults and he's swearing at them, and then he does the little children's one, doesn't he? And he goes from that to going, "Oh, sweetheart, that's okay. Don't worry that you messed it up." And I'll have to share it with you, but that is brilliant. If you could do two versions of that, so you're bleep bleep bleeping, and Kerry's like, "Oh, this is going so wonderfully well. Everything's organised. I have a list."
Kerry will probably be accepting help. That's the difference, you see. Like, I'll just be in there. I'll be like a feral raccoon on my own in the kitchen, just with the door shut away. And
Yeah.
then at some point, I'll venture out and just to moan about the fact that I'm cooking. That's
So that
fine.
you've done it all by yourself and no one has helped. Yeah, I love
Did
it.
you
I'm
want
the
any
same.
help?
I'm
No,
exactly the
no,
same.
no, I don't. But I actually, when I come in and I put this on the table, you better all be so happy.
It's lovely, isn't it? You will enjoy this dinner.
Amazing. Because I made all of it myself. No one else is taking any credit for that.
I love that.
But
That's
yeah, the shouting Susan does arrive at our house at some point. So obviously, when when all the kids are there, it's chaos. I think as well because we were divorced, so we've both got kids from a previous marriage. When we have Christmas when they're at ours, Christmas when they're with their other parents. So this year they're all at ours. So absolute. I mean, I was going to say absolute chaos, but to be fair, when they're teenagers, they're just like grunt at you mostly, don't they?
Yeah. Just go in their
Yeah,
room, playing Xboxes or
yeah,
whatever it may be.
yeah. You're going to open your presents.
Mm.
Sound
You
like
wake
Mo.
you have to wake them up. Do you know when
Yeah,
they were little and they'd be so excited and they'd be like, "Mommy, has he been? I'm really excited."
yeah.
Now it's Ash, are you getting up? It's 10 o'clock. Oh, get downstairs. I'm excited.
Would open these presents, all of them.
I know.
I know
I've done them
it
for
is.
you. I wanted to get rid of the wrapping paper. Sorry.
I love it. I absolutely do. I know. Well, I tell you what's been interesting this year as well. The like I think with us kind of setting up messy minds and everything like around it, and you're kind of spending so much time with us, learning more about like neurodivergence and all the different kind of tendencies and that has took you on quite a journey, I think, hasn't it?
Has,
Please.
yes. I remember sitting in a podcast. I was on the backstage and I was listening to what was being said. And I thought, oh, that sounds familiar. I recognize a lot of that in myself. So it was really funny when obviously we came back to talk to you and I said, "Oh, Joe, I recognize some of these things. Maybe I've got ADHD." And you burst out laughing. Claire, of course you have. I was like, "All right,
Really?
okay." So we are now self-diagnosing me as ADHD, but
Yes. Mhm.
once we knew about it and we were going into meetings, especially the four of us, you could see me and Joe going off. Like I'd just be sat there going, "Yep, we need to do this event." And we weren't even talking about events. It could have been the website.
Yes.
And me and Joe would get excited, thinking, "Oh yeah, we'll do all of this stuff." And Carrie's just there writing down her notes.
It was like,
And Reese,
they're both on emails, weren't they? They're both doing other things while we like burnt ourselves out talking, and then they go,
Multitasking.
"Have you finished?"
and then we'd calm because we got it out of our system, and then they would take over, and we'd be like, "Yes, yes, that's very, very sensible. Great.
They're like,
See
"Well,
you
just
later."
write that down and then put a line through that."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, so Kerry, you're going on a call with Anonymous?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." "Oh, it's not in my diary. That's because you're not invited." And neither's Claire.
To be fair, that happens quite a lot because I was on a call with Reese yesterday because we were working on your Q1 plan, and he said, "Oh, I'll be jumping on a call with Kerry shortly if you'd like to jump on." And I said, "Yeah, I've got some time available," although I was late because something else cropped up. And he's like, "You want to come?" And I was like, "Yes." I could see him going, "Okay." So I bet in the first 10 minutes you were like this, Reese, "Kerry, give me everything I need right now," because she's
I did. It
We
was
we
like
had that call done. We
we
were
did.
done.
I arrived, Joe. I was like, "Hi guys," and then Reese was like, "Oh, we've covered everything." I was like, "Oh, okay then."
Yeah,
Um,
there's no need for you on here.
I was like to
so Chris,
Kerry, give me everything as quick as possible. You got 10 minutes, go. And Kerry was like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." And Claire's like,
that was funny. However, the Joe versus Carrie Christmas dinner
Mhm.
idea came out of that meeting.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes, won't we? Yeah, thanks for that. I so hope planning on having Christmas Day off. No, no. Claire is our absolute like, yeah, there's no day
I'll
off.
call you
There's no
Christmas
days off.
Day just to make
I
sure it's
know.
going.
I absolutely expect that. No doubt.
Oh, well, I tell you what, I'll set up a little WhatsApp. I'll call the WhatsApp group actually. FaceTime you both
Yeah.
to see who's stressed and who's not.
Reese's face. He's like, yeah. I must remember to like bury my phone in a bucket of sand.
Nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
See you
Yeah,
later. Oh yeah, my phone isn't working. I tell you what was funny, actually, one of my highlights this year has got to be when we were doing some filming, because I think Reese wanted some filming of me coaching someone, and I said, "Oh well, why don't we coach you then, Reese? Because like Kerry and I aren't going to do it clearly because we're both running the company, so let's have someone like different."
yeah.
Anyway, so um Yeah, I'll let Reese tell you the rest.
Yeah, I thought so. We needed some content for some social media stuff, which we haven't put out yet. But we are planning to in the new year. And it was of Joe um uh, coaching me. And yeah, it was an experience. Obviously, knowing thinking that I knew what coaching was by doing my research online and, us doing everything, looking into it from our end at Anonymous's end, thinking we know it, but actually doing it was completely different to what I expected. Super useful. Learned a lot of things that I can integrate into my life now. Particularly, Joe, do you remember the pause that we were talking
Yeah,
in the coaching, which I use now, which was super useful when
yeah.
someone's speaking to me. And yeah, I found it super useful, but also it was great information to use in our marketing campaign and how we can use the information
Mm.
and what we were doing in that as well. So yeah, it was super cool. And yeah, it was a highlight for me this year as well.
I
Yeah.
remember Reese going, "I just need to go and lie down for a while," because he was like exhausted. I think we only what would you do about 10 minutes?
Yeah,
It's like I need to go and lie down.
it was about
Because
10 minutes,
Reese
but
came to me.
it was the pause that really did it because you were allowing me to like really go deep into my brain, and I was like, "Wow, okay, I didn't realize."
Oh, I see the blotches coming up his neck. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Yeah, Reese came to me afterwards and said, and obviously Joe, with your bubbly personality, isn't it? He was just so surprised. He said that Joe was not Joe when she does coaching. He said she's completely changed. He said I didn't know who she was. I was like, and he said it was so good, like really good. I was like, oh, I think maybe I need to book a session because you really enjoyed it, didn't you? And you
Yeah,
said
no,
the
it was.
difference in Joe the coach and Joe the CEO of Messy Minds are two very different people, and you got a
Mm.
lot out of it. I didn't realize it was only 10 minutes, but I remember you
Yeah.
telling me.
Yeah, well, it was one of the most important 10 minutes of my life. No,
Yeah,
seriously, it did.
the
It
silence.
it does, yeah, and, if I can get another free session, brilliant.
Yeah, come on, Reese, we'll do that in the new year. I think, oh, Christmas. Claire will have me doing it Christmas Day.
Yeah.
The
Like
I
while
think,
the sprouts are cooking.
yeah, I think that there's that like the silent. I think because Claire, you and I will fill a gap. Like if there's a gap to be filled in a conversation, we're just going to fill it naturally. Like, and I think with coaching, it's how you elect. It's not your thing, is it? It's the person that you coach, and it's their thing. And everything comes from them. So it's really different how you get into that coaching kind of like mindset of right, this is now not me like messing about on screen
Yeah.
or being a comedian or whatever else I might want to be in a meeting, but just allowing you a bit of space to think about it. And I think that's the kind of hat you put on when you're coaching. It's about their other person that you're talking to, and not you,
Yeah,
which is
that's really good.
it's quite hard with impulsive ADHD as well, because I'm like,
I know, because I'm like,
well,
I'd be like, "Oh, let me just give you some advice."
one of the hardest things when you're learning to be a coach. I mean, it's definitely come up in our academy, hasn't it, Kerry? Because we're 4 weeks into our first intake, which we're so excited about, and it's going really well. But one of the biggest things that we're trying to say to people is like, the coach isn't there to give you advice. The coach is there. It comes from the person you're coaching, and you're there trying to just allow people the time to like draw it out of them.
Yeah. So it's like
Um,
therapy.
the difference between therapy is looking backwards, coaching is looking forward. So
Okay.
yeah, it's coaching is all about how you help people move forward with their like goals and things they want to achieve. So if
Yeah.
someone starts saying, if they start talking too much about their past and it keeps coming up, it keeps coming up. It's all right coming up, talk about it because it's kind of a context or you're setting a scene. But if it's constantly people talking about their past, we would then say actually coaching's not the right thing for you. You need to go and and have some therapy before you then think about deal with your past before you then move forward. But yeah, we've had so many people like reaching out for coaching. Lots of actually, well, all sorts of people reaching out, inquiring, but there's just so many people dealing with this at the minute, and like the late diagnosis, it's just there's just so many people because I think their children are being diagnosed, and then they're like seeing them go through that process and all the questions they're answering, and then they're like, "Ooh, all right."
Yeah.
Um, and then they get they know, and then they're trying to get diagnosed themselves. They then got all these headlines going on about, "Oh, ADHD is overdiagnosed," and things like that. If you look at the UK compared to other countries, it is vastly underdiagnosed. It's just that people are discovering about themselves now, mostly because of their kids being diagnosed and schools being more aware of what to look out for with the children. So, yeah.
I
So it was
saw
never like this back in the day, was it? When we was at school, it wasn't ADHD, you were naughty.
yeah,
To
Yeah,
Joe,
you're
I'll
naughty.
imagine, Joe, you were just a naughty girl at school, like,
Yeah.
and it was in the main, it was boys and they were just naughty boys.
Mhm, mhm.
So and I don't think anything was done about it. So this late diagnosis, I think is only because people are focusing now and there is more of a system in place, albeit
Yeah,
pretty broken one.
yeah. I
yeah.
saw
Just
something the other
awareness.
day, and I meant to share it with you actually. But it was just a post saying something about if you get diagnosed with ADHD, you need to report it to the DVLA. Have you seen that?
I read something, I can't even remember what it was, but saying that it could be more dangerous with driving because of distractions and things like that.
And that's going to be something just to deter people from wanting to get the diagnosis, then, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? It just shows it's complete nonsense because, I was actually listening to a video that Alex Partridge had made actually, and he's the guy that kind of has been, raising awareness of ADHD, and, um he was talking about this when, like, he was saying when he drives, and I'm also the same. When I'm driving, I am in a complete hyper focus. Like I've got my radio on, or my Spotify on, should I say, and I'm super aware of everyone around me, what they're doing. I just know if someone's going to pull out on me, and I'm more like thinking about what other people on the road are doing. And actually, I am like super focused when I'm driving. So I think everyone goes, "Oh, let's look at all the negatives to do with ADHD." People are distracted, so they're like zoned out. They're not. Look, we've all been places where we think, "I can't really remember how I got
Yeah.
here,"
Yeah.
but like honestly, the I think that's just the kind of opposite. And it's like, let's just take all the negative points and let's use it about driving this time. Or you're not, you're zoned. You're not. You're just the opposite of that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I am hyper focused and I'm in the car.
Well,
I
Claire,
love being in the
you
car.
know how we, when you get distracted in meetings, we tell you to go and get in the car so you can speak to us and actually have it
Yeah,
fully focused when you're speaking.
Yeah, hyper
yeah,
focused. Yeah, my brain is clear. I know what I'm doing. Safe
uh-huh.
driver. It's just, yeah, I totally
I love
disagree
being
with it.
in the
When I
car.
saw it, I thought,
Yeah,
oh, that's just going to put people off
yeah,
wanting to get the diagnosis, then, isn't it?
it's crazy. It really is because it's just another thing, isn't it? It's like, well, just yeah, it's just another thing loaded on the top of it, isn't it? And you think, well, okay, really, is there any proof of that? Because if you've got such a low percentage of the population diagnosed, well, then where's your data coming from that actually proves that fact? I
Yeah,
think it's very easy for people to say things like that, and then all of a sudden it becomes a fact. And all my ideas come when I'm in the car because I love driving, absolutely love it. Not in traffic, not on roads I don't know, but like roads, where routes that I'm used to going on.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, and definitely not in Christmas traffic. Yeah, I enjoy that. Go back to my Advent rant that I had the other day.
Have they all been recorded now?
Yeah. The Advent calendar is a typical ADHD. Like I couldn't have a better example of ADHD than Advent calendar. Like I've I was on my dog walk and I thought, oh, I've got a great idea. Um, let's do ADHD event as an Advent calendar every day, talking about all the things that might happen over Christmas, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I said to Kerry, I've got a great idea. And she's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, but
What's
you
that now?
WhatsApped me immediately and said, "I've had a
Did
brilliant idea whilst I'm out on my dog walk, and I
yeah,
will tell you about it later." So I'm like,
yeah.
"I'm
I
waiting.
have to
Who is it?"
I have to do this though, because otherwise I'll forget about I had an idea and forget to tell you. But
Yes.
yeah, it's been the filming because we've been doing 2 per day because we've got different footage on TikTok, we've got different content on TikTok than we've got on, like, Insta and stuff. It's been, like, 50 videos. I'm going, "Oh my gosh." And then Reece is like, "We're breaking up on the 17th." I'm like, so it was just one of the when you actually it's a typical ADHD thing. I'm like really like can't wait to do it, and then I start doing it and I realize how much work it is, and then I'm like, oh please don't lose this hyper focus now. Yesterday, that meeting you were on, Kerry was like, "Do you want to come on this meeting?" I went, "I've got 2 days of footage to shoot, and I've got 40 minutes until I need to leave the house." And I ended up leaving late, obviously. I'm like, don't. I was in a hyper focus. Like, no, there was fluff everywhere. There was biscuits everywhere. There was doors off the advent calendar all over the floor. It was absolute chaos. The dog was like hyped up to the max because she was like trying to rip through this advent calendar. And when you just think this is absolute carnage in here.
Yeah, but you love it.
Love it. And
Yes.
I'm obviously recovering from a cold as well. That's why I sound like this. But that didn't help. But yeah,
No.
so I had 4 days where I couldn't film, but luckily I'd obviously in order to get it into the kind of advent calendar, we'd kind of filmed a bit ahead. But because my mum was phoning, she said, "I thought you were ill." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "Oh, well, I've just watched your advent calendar." I went, like marketing agencies don't necessarily work at the weekend. So we've obviously filmed them ahead. But she's like, "Oh, right. I thought you looked all right." I can
Has she got
confirm though.
TikTok then?
Yeah, I was gonna say my mum was saying, "Where's the footage of Mo?" Like, Mo started off being like a children's thing, but I think adults can relate to Mo so much. My mum was like, "Where's Mo?" And I said, "Oh, Mo's on TikTok." And I said, "'Cause it's just a very different content, different audience." And so she made herself a TikTok account this
Oh,
morning actually, so that she could watch some Mo footage.
oh, that's so cute. I
So
love that.
yeah.
I love
It's
that.
great. So yeah, Mo is like luring people in, and he's getting a bit of a big ego at the moment. Actually, I'm having to
I'm
deal with that.
surprised he's not sat front and center in front of you.
Yeah, well, he would be. He's gone to make a drink. Gone for another interview.
Yeah, I'm not getting my screen time. This is not good for my career. I'm off.
Yeah, I mean, he charges by the hour as well, so I can't afford to put him on here.
No, definitely not.
But
So, I
he's been
guess
good.
the question I'm gonna ask you now, what's been your biggest achievement this year so far? Joe, to go first.
Well, I don't know. I'm not very good with achievements because and I think that's to do with how my mind works. So like I struggle with it. If you said to Kerry, "What's Joe's biggest achievement?" She'd probably say like ILM 7 or something like that, which I've already moved on because I just don't feel like achievements in that way. I just feel like the relief that they're done. But I
Yeah.
would say the best thing I've done this year, so I'll put it like that, is to set up this directorship with Kerry because we would not be sat here. Well, we would, but it'd be me and you, Claire. We just don't know. We wouldn't know what we were doing. But like working with Kerry she's just got everything under control all the time. And I'm so erratic with what I'm doing and like my ideas and everything else. Like you need that kind of creativity and drive in the company. But in order to be able to get us to where we've got to, I mean, Kerry was doing a VAT return the other day and I was like, she told me about it for about 10 seconds. And I was like, I really, really appreciate, I mean, because she's done so much work on it, and she was telling me, like, one thing, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so boring." I just would be incapable of doing that. So, honestly, yeah, the best thing I've done this year is to be, working on this with Kerry because we have Kerry's absolutely lovely, but we have such a lovely, like, time, and we support each other massively, so that's my number one.
Perfect. And Kerry, what's the best thing for you this year?
I would echo that. I think for me, I left my corporate role on the Wednesday and I spoke to Jo on the Thursday and she was like, "What do you think?" And that was it. And this has been it. And it has been, we have just had the most fun. We've had fun. And I think we're doing something that it really does make a difference. And I think following that, seeing the academy start from what was, God, in July, that was, well, this is what I think we're going to do. And that's come to life. It's a proper course. It's accredited by CPD. We're having other conversations, which are super exciting. But to actually see it start, and you've got 9 people who all want to be Messy Minds coaches, and listening to all the interactions and how engaged everyone is. And it kind of feels like we've gone from July, where it's this brilliant idea and Noodle was already in place. So we had Noodle, there was the site, and then just to see it all brought to life, amazing.
Wonderful.
Mm.
That's so
Mm.
good.
Also, as well, we're lucky because we've partnered obviously with the Brain Charity, who have been brilliant. But we are coaching our coaches that are on our academy. We always look for volunteers to coach for people that are just training and learning. So we've got 4 people from the Brain Charity that we're coaching as volunteers in our
Wow.
coaching program, which is fantastic. But we'll also be sending them a check for £900 this week for the donations from our academy trainees. So, honouring that commitment and being able to send them our first donation, because I know that they've got their Christmas target that they're trying to reach. I think they're trying to raise 30,000.
Yeah.
I might be making that up. Yeah, 30,000. So it'd be nice to put a little link in here for people that want to donate to the Brain Charity. But they're just fantastic, and I think that's made, again, it just gives us that reason to do really well, because they do some fantastic work, and we really want to support them as well as ourselves.
Yeah, that's
But
wonderful.
we'll put that little link in into the podcast as well if anyone wants to donate to them. I mean, they support over like 600 neurological conditions, and including like strokes, your neurodivergence in there, hydrocephalus. I mean, the list at 600. I mean, there's stuff, they've conditions on there that I've never heard about. Really, really rare conditions, but yeah, they're just amazing people there, and I think what they do is fantastic, and we're so lucky to be like partnered with them. So yeah, they're our chosen charity, and we're really, that's kind of all of that. We could have just set up a business and gone straight out and been like, getting our academy full. But Kerry and we work differently to that, and we have to have that kind of giving back element built into our business. And we've definitely, that's something as well. I think that's a big achievement for us this year, being able to have Messy Minds in a kind of ready to go into 2026 with all of these guys really strong culture and values in place. So yeah, I think it makes us feel good about what we're doing.
It
Amazing.
does. Claire and Reece, I'd love to ask you what's your highlights from this year, or best favourite achievements?
You're asking who's our favourite clients, aren't you? Well,
Yeah, yes, we are.
That's what I was thinking
it's
as well.
meeting Jo and Kerry. Although I met Jo last year, 2024, we met originally. And it's definitely, we've had so much fun working with you guys. I personally have learned such a lot about myself and how my brain works, and it's definitely been highlighted, isn't it, Reece?
Yeah, I think um meeting you guys, working with you guys closely, has definitely been a highlight. Learning a lot about neurodivergence and
Yeah,
also feeding off your energy. I think that's what's important from our end, is that we love working with people who are like us and have a similar culture to us.
yeah,
And, you know, when I wake up in the morning, I love working on Messy Minds because you guys are the team. So yeah, I think that's definitely a highlight this year from my perspective.
Yeah,
We are very
we do
similar,
love
aren't
our
we,
other
Abby?
clients also, just in case they see
Yeah,
this.
caveat if you're listening.
But
We're
with
so
you guys,
similar though, aren't
it's
we?
it's more like we're just part of the same team, and that's
Yeah.
the difference, isn't it? You know, it doesn't feel like your clients. It feels like we're all part of the same team, and I think that's the difference, and that's why it works so well.
Yeah, I think it really feels like that. Do you kn and our businesses are very much we have the same kind of values, and we like I think it was really important for us to find to find companies to work with that share that kind of, common way of working. We work really hard. All of us on here work really hard, but we also have fun, and that is this just a secret recipe to kinda getting stuff done, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we have had the best time with you guys over the year, and we obviously got some really exciting announcements coming in 2026, which we're working on behind the scenes. We won't be doing any kind of advent calendar or anything like that, so that's really Oh dear. We'll put a link to the advent calendar in here if you haven't seen it, obviously, so that you can click on that and watch an utter chaos. But yeah, we've really, really enjoyed it. So thank you. And we wanted to do the end of year podcast with you because it just felt like the right thing to do because you've just been with us on our journey all the way, well, 18 months ago when I first started thinking about this as an idea and you're Dylan putting together our branding. We do get such really good comments about our branding everywhere we go. So it's a big thank you to you, and we've really enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to next year and more podcasts and all sorts of things, and even a children's book launch. So we've got everything coming on next year, and we're so excited. But thank you very much. You've been watching You're in Detention. If you like it, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and thank you for all of your support this year.